My brother slapped me on my birthday. My 17th birthday was supposed to be peaceful. Simple, nothing loud. Just family, a cake from Walmart, and my mom's soft gospel music playing through the kitchen speaker. I came downstairs thinking that was all the day would be. But the moment I stepped into the living room, everything changed. My parents were there, smiling. Balloons on the wall. A small, "Happy Birthday, Malik" banner above the TV. My older brother, Devin, sat on the couch scrolling his phone, barely looking up. Mom rushed over. "Baby, happy birthday," she said, hugging me tightly. Dad clapped me on the back. 17. Almost a man. I smiled. "Thanks, y'all." Devin didn't say anything. Mom noticed. "Devin, aren't you going to greet your brother?" He sighed like it was a burden. "Yeah, whatever. Happy birthday." I looked at him. "Thanks, man." But I could already feel the tension. Devin had been distant for months, angry, bitter, snapping at people, especially me. I didn't know why. I tried to ignore it and just enjoy my day. We cut the cake. Pictures. Laughter from my parents. But Devin stayed silent the whole time, staring at his phone, sometimes at me, like something was boiling inside him. Later, when Mom asked me to open my gifts, Devin got up suddenly. "I'm out," he said. Dad frowned. "What do you mean you're out? We're not done." Devin shrugged. "I'm not sitting here watching this fake movie." Mom raised her voice. "Devin, today is your brother's birthday." That's when he snapped. "Everything is always about him," he shouted. The room froze. I stared at him, confused. "Devin, what did I do?" He walked up to me fast. Too fast. Before I could even process it. Clap. His palm cracked against my cheek so hard the sound bounced off the walls. Mom screamed. "Jesus. Devin." Dad jumped up. "Boy, are you out of your mind?" I stood there stunned. My cheek burning. My eyes wide. I wasn't even angry. I was hurt, deeply hurt, in a way that made my chest feel hollow. Devin was breathing heavily, staring at me like I was the one who hurt him. I whispered, voice shaking, Why would you do that?" He didn't answer. Dad grabbed him by the arm. "Go upstairs. Now." Devin pulled away. "I'm grown. Don't touch me." Mom's eyes filled with tears. "Devin, look what you've done. To your own brother, on his birthday." He paused, looked at me again, and then stormed out the front door, slamming it so hard the walls shook. The room fell silent. Mom held my face gently. "Baby, I'm so sorry." Dad stood there, breathing hard, trying to control his anger. My birthday had just turned into something I'd never forget, but not for the reason I wanted. For a while, nobody moved. The only sound was the clock ticking on the wall and my mom's shaky breathing. My cheek throbbed, and not just from the slap. It was like my heart had been hit too. Dad finally spoke. His voice was low and dangerous. "I'm going to deal with that boy." He started toward the door, fists clenched. Mom grabbed his arm. "Anthony, please. Let him cool down first. You're angry too." He put his hands on his little brother, Dad said through his teeth. "On his birthday." I swallowed hard. "Dad, it's okay." He turned to me, eyes wide. "No, Malik. It's not okay. He disrespected you. He disrespected this house." Tears slipped down my face before I could stop them. I hated crying in front of people, but this hurt in a way I couldn't swallow. Mom cupped my cheeks, gently turning my face to look at the red mark. "You want ice, baby?" "I'm fine," I muttered, even though I wasn't. Dad's jaw tightened. "Go sit down." I sat on the edge of the couch, hands shaking. The balloons above the TV suddenly felt childish. The cake on the table felt like a joke. All I could think was, my own brother did that. Mom sat beside me, rubbing my back. "Talk to me. What's going on between you and Devon? I shook my head. I don't know. He's been cold lately, but I didn't think he hated me. Dad paced in front of the TV. He doesn't hate you. He's just lost his mind. Mom frowned. He's been different since the layoff notice from the warehouse. He's stressed, but that's no excuse. I blinked. He lost his job? Mom sighed. They told him they're letting people go at the end of the month. He didn't want us to say anything. So that's why he'd been moody. But still. That doesn't give him the right to hit me, I said quietly. Mom nodded. You're right. Dad stopped pacing and looked at me. Malik, do you want me to make him leave this house? The question scared me. What? No, I said quickly. He's still my brother. Dad's face softened. You're a good kid, you know that? I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like anything. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Text notifications from friends. Jay, yo, birthday boy. We on PS5 tonight, or what? Nia, happy birthday, Malik. Party popper, I hope your day is good so far. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. I typed. Me, thanks. I'll text y'all later. I put my phone face down. Mom rested her head on my shoulder. I know this hurts. But we're going to handle it. Okay. My voice came out small. Okay. Dad picked up the TV remote and turned off the music. The house fell quiet again. My 17th birthday ended not with laughter or a song, but with my parents sitting on either side of me, trying to hold together a family that felt like it was cracking. I woke up the next morning with a headache. For a second, I forgot what happened. Then I touched my face and flinched. Right. It wasn't a dream. I checked my phone. Devon still hadn't come home. The last notification on our family group chat was Mom at 11:49 p.m. Mom, Devon, where are you? Your father is worried. Please come home. No reply. I opened Instagram. My friends had tagged me in birthday posts. Smiling pictures from old times. Captions like, Happy birthday to the realist. My brother Fr, love you for life, at Malik. I stared at those posts, feeling like they were about someone else. Mom knocked softly and opened my door. She looked tired, like she hadn't slept. Morning, baby. Morning, I said, sitting up. She walked in with a small tray. I made you some scrambled eggs and toast. I blinked. Mom, you don't have to. You think I'm going to let my birthday boy starve the day after he got assaulted in his own house? She said gently. I gave a weak smile. You're being dramatic. I'm being honest. She sat on the edge of the bed. How you feeling? Like I got slapped by somebody I love. She winced. I'm so sorry. I know, Mom. It's not your fault. She hesitated. Your dad drove around last night looking for him. Called a few of Devon's friends. Nobody knew where he was. Maybe he just needed space, I said, more to convince myself than her. He's still not answering my calls. Her voice shook a little. I picked up my toast but didn't eat. Are y'all going to kick him out? She looked at me. Do you want that? I swallowed. The word no sat heavy in my chest. No, I whispered. I just want him to say sorry. And mean it. Mom's eyes filled. You have such a soft heart. Or maybe I'm stupid, I muttered. She shook her head firmly. No. Don't ever confuse kindness with weakness. I nodded, not fully believing her. Dad called from downstairs. Carmen, can you come here? Mom squeezed my hand. Eat, okay? I'll be back. When she left, I finally checked my DMs. Nia, you disappeared last night. You good? Nia, Malik? Nia, you're scaring me. Nia, please text back. I sighed and typed. Me, sorry. Yesterday was crazy. I'll tell you later. Almost instantly, the 3 dots appeared. Nia. Okay. Just know I'm here. For real. I stared at that for a long time. Then, from downstairs, I heard the front door open. Dad's voice boomed. Where have you been? Devon. My heart started racing. I slipped out of my bed and moved to my doorway, the plate of half-eaten breakfast forgotten on my desk. From the stairs, I could see straight into the living room. Devon stood just inside the door, hoodie up, eyes looking tired and puffy. He smelled like cigarettes and outside air. My dad stood a few feet away from him, arms folded. Mom sat on the couch, tissue in hand. Dad's voice was flat. You left this house for the whole night, after hitting your brother, and didn't answer one call. Are you proud of yourself? Devon rubbed the back of his neck. I ain't proud of nothing right now. Mom sniffed. Where did you sleep? On Dre's couch, he muttered. Dad shook his head. That boy's house is not your home. This is your home. But you treated it like a place you can just walk into and disrespect. Devon glanced toward the stairs. His eyes met mine. My stomach dropped. Malik, Mom called softly, noticing me. Come down. I walked down slowly, every step echoing too loud in my ears. Devon watched me, eyes unreadable. We stood a few feet apart. Up close, I could see the guilt on his face. But I could also feel the anger still in his body. Dad pointed between us. You're going to talk. Today. Right now. Because what's not going to happen is us pretending that didn't happen. Devon looked away. I know I messed up. Messed up. Dad repeated. That's what we calling it. Devon sighed. What do you want me to say? How about the truth? I snapped before I could stop myself. Why you hate me so much? He turned back to me, eyes flashing. I don't hate you. You sure? My voice cracked. Because it feels like it. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. Mom stood up. Devon, you slapped your brother. On his birthday. In front of us. Do you know what that did to him? Devon's jaw worked. I was mad. About what? I asked. What did I do? He stared at me for a long time. You exist, he said finally, voice low. The words hit harder than the slap. What? I whispered. Mom gasped. Devon. Dad stepped forward. Watch your mouth, boy. Devon threw his hands up. No, let me talk since y'all want honesty. He's the golden child. Mr. 4.0 GPA, Mr. Scholarships, Mr. We're so proud of you, Malik. Meanwhile, I'm over here getting laid off and treated like a disappointment in my own house. I shook my head, stunned. Devon, nobody. He cut me off. Do you know what Dad said last month? We don't have to worry about Malik. He's going to make it. You know what that sounds like to somebody who's struggling? It sounds like, we do have to worry about Devon, because he's not going to make it. Dad frowned. That's not what I meant. But that's how it felt, Devon shot back. Everything is always about what Malik's doing next. His classes. His future. His friends. His birthday. Y'all posted his picture all over Facebook yesterday, but when I got my forklift certification, nobody posted nothing. Mom put a hand to her chest. Devon. He laughed bitterly. So yeah, I snapped. I felt invisible. Angry. And I took it out on him. I swallowed hard. So you slapped me, because people are proud of me? He flinched at my words. Dad shook his head slowly. You're mad at us. Not him. But you hurt him. Devon's voice dropped. I know. He finally looked at me. I'm sorry, Malik, he said, and this time it sounded real. I shouldn't have touched you. I was wrong. You didn't deserve that. I wanted that apology. I really did. But my chest still hurt. It's not just the slap. I said quietly. It's every time you walked past me like I was nothing. Every time you made slick comments. I kept trying to act like it didn't bother me, but it did. You're my big brother. I always looked up to you. His eyes glistened. I kept going. You think I don't notice when you're struggling? I do. I just never knew how to help. The room fell quiet. Mom wiped her eyes. Dad's face had softened. Devon swallowed. I didn't know you felt that way. Well, I do, I whispered. He took a small step toward me. Can you forgive me? The question hung in the air. I looked at my parents. Mom nodded slightly, like she was saying it's your choice, baby, not ours. I looked back at Devon. My cheek still remembered his hand. But my heart remembered every time he'd walked me to the bus stop when I was little, every time he'd scared away bullies, every time he'd shared his last dollar for me to get snacks. I don't know if I can forgive you right now, I said honestly. But I want to. Someday. I just need time. He nodded slowly, eyes glassy. I'll take that. Dad sighed. Good. Because we're not done. This family is going to counseling. Mom blinked. Anthony. I'm serious, he said. We got too much building up in this house. Anger. Pressure. Unsaid things. We need help. For the first time, I didn't hate that idea. Maybe we did. 2 weeks later, we sat in a small office that smelled like lavender and coffee. The therapist, a black woman in her 40s with box braids and calm eyes, introduced herself as Dr. Avery. Her desk had pictures of black families, quotes like, "Healing is not weakness," and "You can break cycles." She smiled warmly. So, who wants to start? We all looked at each other. Finally, Dad cleared his throat. We're here because I failed as a father. Mom turned to him sharply. Anthony. No, let me talk, he said. He looked at Dr. Avery. My son put his hands on my other son, and he felt like he was less than him. That's on me. Somewhere along the line, I made one child feel like he was the star and the other feel like he was in the dark. Dr. Avery nodded. Thank you for being honest. Devon, Malik. How does it feel hearing your dad say that? Devon stared at his hands. I mean, he's not wrong. I felt like that for a long time. I shifted in my chair. I didn't know he felt like that. I just thought he didn't like me anymore. So you both were hurting, Dr. Avery said gently. But instead of talking, you both suffered in silence. Until it exploded. Devon grimaced. Yeah. On his birthday. Real smart. I gave a tiny smile. Terrible timing. Mom looked like she wanted to cry again. Dr. Avery leaned forward slightly. Devon, I want to ask you something. When you slapped Malik, what did you want him to feel? Devon exhaled slowly. Small. I wanted him to feel small, the way I felt. I swallowed. And when his face changed after you hit him, she continued, how did you feel? He looked at me, then away. Sick. It was like I saw myself from outside my body. I hated it. I didn't realize how much I needed to hear that. Dr. Avery turned to me. Malik, what did that slap say to you? I thought for a moment. That I was the problem, I said quietly. Like I should feel guilty for doing well. For making my parents proud. Like my achievements were hurting him. Have you ever tried to dull your own light so he wouldn't feel that way? She asked. I nodded slowly. Yeah. Sometimes I didn't share good news so he wouldn't roll his eyes or make comments. Devon's head snapped toward me. You didn't tell me things because of me? Sometimes, I admitted. His face crumpled. Man. Mom wiped her eyes again. I had no idea any of this was going on. I thought y'all were just growing apart. That's part of it, Dr. Avery said. But there is also something else here. In a lot of black families, we don't always say out loud when we're proud of one child and worried about another. But kids feel it. And they translate it into he's the good one, and I'm the bad one. Dad nodded slowly. That's exactly what happened. So we're going to work on that, she said. On saying things clearly. On affirming each child. On allowing space for failure and success. No one here is the problem child. You're all just people. The session went on. We talked about money stress, Dad's long work hours, Mom's pressure to keep the family perfect, Devon's fear of being a disappointment, my fear of being resented for things I couldn't control. By the second session, we weren't fixed, but we were talking. One night after therapy, Devon knocked on my door. "Yo," he said, peeking in. "What's up?" I asked, closing my laptop. He walked in, hands in his pockets. Dr. Avery said we should start doing more brother things. Whatever that means. I smirked. What, like fighting over the remote again? He rolled his eyes. No. Like, actually spending time together. I was thinking we could start small. Like what? He pulled out a controller from behind his back. Rematch on 2K? You still trash. I laughed. For the first time in weeks, it felt full. You're on, I said. We played late into the night. No deep conversations, no dramatic apologies. Just jokes, trash talk, and small moments of normal. And it felt like the first brick being laid on a bridge we were rebuilding. Almost a year passed. Life didn't magically become perfect. Devon still struggled sometimes. He hopped between jobs before finally landing a better-paying one with benefits at a bigger warehouse. I got accepted into a state university with a scholarship. Mom and Dad still argued occasionally, but they'd learned to cool down and talk instead of letting things stew. We still went to therapy once a month. The red mark on my cheek faded long ago, but the memory of that day never fully left. It just changed. It stopped being only about pain and started being about what came after. Then my 18th birthday rolled around. I woke up that morning expecting something simple again. Maybe breakfast, a text from Nia, who was now my actual girlfriend, and some jokes from Devon. But when I came downstairs, my jaw dropped. There were more balloons than last year. A bigger banner. A small stack of wrapped gifts on the table. And something new. My old pictures printed and taped on a string, from kid years to now. Mom smiled. Happy birthday, my man. Dad hugged me. 18. Look at you. Nia popped out from behind the couch. Surprise. I laughed. You're here too. She grinned. Of course. I wasn't missing this. But Devon, he was nowhere in sight. For a second, my chest tightened. Then the front door opened. Devon walked in, carrying a cake box from a local bakery. The nice one downtown we almost never go to because it's expensive. He grinned. Yo. Happy birthday, little bro. I stared. You bought a cake? He shrugged, trying to play it cool. Don't get emotional or nothing. Mom put her hand on her heart. Devon picked it out himself. He shot her a look. Ma, chill. Dad chuckled. We're proud of you, son. Devon glanced at him, and I could tell those words meant something different now. We gathered around the table. Devon opened the cake box and revealed a chocolate cake with blue writing. Happy 18th, Malik. We love you, family. I stared at the words, throat tight. Devon cleared his throat. So, before you blow out the candles, I want to say something, he said. Everyone went quiet. He looked at me, eyes steady. Last year, I ruined your birthday. That's not something I can ever erase. But I can make new memories with you. Better ones. Ones where I show up as a big brother, not a bully. You feel me. I swallowed hard. Yeah, I feel you. He nodded. I'm proud of you, man. For real. Not just for the grades or college. For the way you handled everything. For giving me another chance when I didn't deserve it. Tears blurred my vision. I'm proud of you too, I managed. for not walking away from us, for doing the work, for being here. We hugged. It wasn't perfect. It was slightly awkward. His arm was heavy around my shoulders, and I was taller than I used to be. But it felt real. Everyone started clapping. Nia wiped her eyes. "This is so beautiful, I'm going to scream." Mom laughed through her tears. "Y'all are going to make me cry my lashes off." Dad shook his head. "This is what I prayed for." They lit the candles. "Make a wish," Mom whispered. I looked at my family. Imperfect, loud, emotional, healing. I thought about the boy I was a year ago, standing in this same living room with a burning cheek and a broken heart. My wish came easily. Let us keep growing. Let us keep healing. Let us keep choosing each other, even when we hurt. I closed my eyes, made the wish silently, and blew out the candles. Everyone cheered. Devin grabbed my shoulder. "Now hurry up and cut the cake before Nia eats the frosting." Nia gasped. "Excuse me." We laughed, all of us. In that moment, I realized something. My brother slapping me on my 17th birthday was one of the worst days of my life. But it was also the day we stopped pretending everything was fine, and started doing the hard work to actually become a real family. Not a perfect one, just a real one. And that, more than anything, was the best gift I could have ever gotten.